Hi, I'm Cameron. It's been a little while since the last time that you and us, sat down and just had a nice little conversation. If this is your first time talking with me, then hi. If not, then it's nice to see you again. Regardless of that, there was something that I was thinking about recently that I felt like talking about. If you've seen these videos before, I think at this point you've kind of figured out that that's kind of just what I do. I kind of just talk about what I'm thinking about. And apparently you guys like listening to that, which is fun because I like talking about that. Right now, I am coming at you live from my new apartment's living room. I'm sitting on a couch. This is not a very flattering camera angle, but that's besides the point. I'm sitting on a couch, and that's great. If you asked me 3 years ago where I was going to be, I wouldn't have told you that I'd be sitting on a couch in a new apartment that's much nicer and safer than my old apartment. And thinking about that, the mere act of sitting on a couch in my new apartment makes me reflect on how far I've come, even just in the short amount of time since I started making these videos that you guys always end up supporting and watching. There was a day about 5 years ago when I was in college where I said to myself, in 5 years from now, I don't want to just be someone who sits around, jacks off, eats pizza, and plays video games all day. Now, full disclosure, gentlemen, ladies, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing any of those things. It's just that being nothing more than that. I wanted to be worth something more than that. And having this new job that I don't hate, being in this better environment, not being around the same horrible people I used to associate with before, makes me realize that it's been 5 years and I'm not that person. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. But then something, despite all of this, came back and struck me in my heart. It made my heart go cold. I felt it ache in a way I'd never experienced before. Despite doing that well, there was a voice in the back of my head that said, but you're still worth nothing. You're still not gonna make it. And I had to stop myself and I had to think about that for a second. Why is that voice there in the first place? And this happened when I was at work. I was sitting there and a customer actually came up and was like, just so you know, you are like the best person that has ever helped us. And I was like taken aback by that. I was like, really? I was just doing my job. But they told me that I was so kind and I was so talkative with them, and I made them feel like they were really understood by somebody. Like that it seemed like I was treating them like they were people instead of a job I just had to get done. And that made me feel awesome. Because at the end of the day, it's really all I want to do. I just want to make other people's lives better. There's nothing secret about that. There's no added nuance to it or anything. And so it was that day where I had that thought in my head. You're still worthless. You're still unimportant. Nobody cares about you. And in the wake of all of this physical evidence that I'm doing better, and because I worked for that, and in that verbal evidence of somebody saying to my face, you are a good person, complete stranger who has nothing to gain by saying that, why is that voice there? And that's when something clicked in me that hasn't really ever connected in a way like the same way before. Where I realized that almost all of the negative qualities of myself and the things I don't like about myself and the things that people have said about me that make me feel horrible and hate myself don't define me as a person. And yes, I've gone over that type of thing before previously, but specifically what I'm talking about is that I was subjected to that type of environment, that type of language from my earliest memory. I remember being like 3 years old in preschool and having my head slammed repeatedly against the wall by one of the older kids. That's like my earliest memory that comes to mind. I have plenty of other examples of extreme child abuse that I could list, but this video would be 10 hours long if I did that, and we'd only get like a quarter of the way through it. I actually did record a video at one point when I was like really not doing great. That was basically me just listing every horrible thing that ever happened to me, but I deleted it because it didn't feel like it was very productive. It just felt like it was unearthing all of this stuff that didn't matter anymore. And that's just the thing about it. It doesn't matter anymore. I have plenty of people that were in my life at one point that meant something to me at that time that ultimately broke my heart or stabbed me in the back or betrayed me in some way that was world shattering. And in those times, it was like that defined me as a person. Nothing else mattered more than how I felt in that specific moment. I mean, I'm sure that's something that a lot of people can relate to. How many of you are married to your first boyfriend or girlfriend? If you are, good job. You lucked out on the first shot? That's not a word. You lucked out on the first shot. There we go. But I mean, there was a girl I liked a lot in high school. I don't even know if she's alive anymore. I don't know what she's doing. Probably working at like a fucking Walgreens or something. Who fucking knows? I don't. But, or there was like a friend of mine that I had in high school online where we would do everything together. And I don't know what happened to that guy. Maybe he's watching this video right now. If you are, you can feel free to reach out. Like, I don't hate you or anything. We can talk about track and working out and Guilty Gear again, man. Like, we're fine. We can talk about JoJo again if you want. That would be weird. That's like a world of coincidences right there. Or, I mean, again, I can go on with things. But with the passing of time, these things stop mattering. I don't even remember, let's say for example that I hate myself. I don't, which is pretty great, you know, progress. But let's say for example that I hate myself. Why? Why? What started that? What caused that feeling to be implanted into my head? And that's when I realized that all of those things, all of those misconceptions about myself were just projected onto me from such an early age that I never knew any better. I grew up in a town that had 500 people in it. Whatever I did in preschool literally followed me until I graduated and moved out. Literally. I would be stopped and, like, made fun of for things I didn't even remember doing. Like, you remember when you picked your nose in third grade? Loser. I mean, I could go on about it. I really can. But that's not the point of this video. The point isn't to be like, woe is me, my life was so awful. It's just more like that awful existence that I used to have where I spent every single day looking into the mirror and wishing that I was somebody else isn't what I'm experiencing now. Just because I still have nightmares that I'm in high school English with the same bitch English teacher who ruined my love for reading, didn't fix that until college, doesn't mean that I'm still in that situation now. It doesn't mean I have to keep having the stupid brainwashed opinion that there's something wrong with me. Because that's the thing. That's the thing I realize. The more I travel and the more I understand about the world, the more I read books, the more I play obscure visual novels where the plot is that you need to avoid getting cut in half, but that's still kind of considered the good ending for some reason. The more I have a complete picture of the way that the world actually is. And if I look at myself in comparison to everything else, if I take who I am and what I have and the wonderful people I have in my life, and I compare that to this fake version of me that never existed, that was just implanted on me at some point because of some horrible sin I committed that I don't even remember doing, then there's nothing wrong with me. There's not. If I was really that bad of a person, if I was somebody who deserved to be, and this did happen, put into a van in college and driven out to the middle of nowhere and told for about an hour or two straight how horrible of a person I was and not allowed to leave. I got out of the van and they chased after me and they sat me down and said I wasn't going to leave until they were done. If I deserved to have that happen to me, I would feel bad for it. It's through all of this self-reflection and through interacting with all of you guys who share that you've experienced similar things, or all of like your messages of support, that I understand that I don't need to keep hating myself. I don't need to engage in these behaviors that are just there. I mean, it's like that video I made where I said that misery is addictive. It's the exact same thing with that. You get so used to hating yourself that one day when you wake up, you realize you don't actually. You wonder why you started that routine in the first place. Because hating myself was just a routine. Beating myself up every day and constantly associating with people who I knew didn't like me, who were just keeping me around to use as a punching bag, was a routine. Because at some point it was implanted in me that I was never worth anything more than that. But that's not true. I'm awesome. You guys are all awesome. Whatever you're going through right now, you can get through it. Nothing is stopping you. You can believe in yourself. I have people who believe in me because I am who I am. And if I was that bad of a person, those people wouldn't be in my life. If what I was saying was so horrible and corrupt, and there was no merit to any of that, you wouldn't be sitting here right now listening to that. And the same thing goes for all of the people in your life too. Because I have people who I believe in, who believe in me, I can believe in myself, and that's what keeps me going. The people who you have in your life should not be happy when bad things happen to you. I used to have people like that in my life where I'd be like, I failed the test, and they'd be like, you're a loser, you're never gonna make it. Haha, just kidding, bro. Everybody just lives under this like extreme layer of irony to where being genuine and caring about things is considered to be the actions of a loser. And if that's the case, I'm gonna be a loser for the rest of my life. I will proudly display my katanas in that corner of the room over there. This is the part where I would like dramatically like swing the camera over and show the katanas, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna, yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Got that $30. Oh, you fell off. Got that $30 mall katana, baby. That's got like what, like one durability on it or something. I don't know. Got Kamina here too. He's chilling. He's big living. If being a loser means that I am who I am, I don't ever want to be anybody else. Because maybe being a loser isn't so bad. If the whole world tells you that something wrong is right, that doesn't mean that you're wrong. You just have to plant yourself like a tree along the river of the truth. Stuttering. I hate stuttering. It sucks. These braces are going to be off one day, and then I'm going to be like the best public speaker of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're public speaking. I love public speaking. You plant yourself like a tree next to the river of truth, and you tell the whole world, no, you're wrong. unless you're an anti-vaxxer, don't believe in what I'm. Don't take that message to heart. If you're an anti-vaxxer, or if you're like actually racist and not ironic racist or something, you're a piece of shit. Flat out. Sorry to all my racist fans out there, all the racist viewers. I'm sorry. I hate to disappoint you guys. I know there's got to be at least like 30 of you. But moving forward, I don't want to hate myself. And if there are people who drag me down with them, I'm going to use them as a footstool to keep going, so that way I can get back to the light. Because I don't want to drown. I don't want to be stuck in a pathetic hole for the rest of my life. Just because I was born there doesn't mean that I have to stay there. I'll spend every day of my life climbing to reach the top until I can finally be in that sunlight. Because I know it will have been earned, and it'll be for me. And the people who believe in me will want that for me. So it's just about undoing that childhood brainwashing. Not letting horrible things that happened to you 15, 20 years ago or even last week define you as a person. Because we're not defined by the worst moment that we've had of our lives. We're not defined by the biggest mistake. We're not defined by girls that we liked in high school or shitty college friends that just shove you around all the time. We're defined by the actions that we take today and the people that we try being now. And that's the type of person that I want to be. Someone who's always moving forward. That's all I really got for now. I feel like that was a good video. If you liked the video, give a thumbs up and do the whole shebang. I guess just as like an update thing. I always like to update things a little bit as well. I am still reading Crime and Punishment. That's still coming up. And I have every book planned out for that whole book series ahead of time. If you have recommendations, you're free to make them, and I will get to them at some point. I promise that too. Like I will. If you guys tell me to read something, I will read it, and I will make an episode about it. At least until like I have like 1 million subscribers, in which case it's like a lottery system, and it's gonna be like revealed that like I'm secretly corrupt or something. I'm not. I swear. I hope I'm not. But that's like the plan moving forward. I don't know when like episodes of that were gonna come out. It's just kind of more of like a when it's done thing, you know. It's like it'll be out when it's out and you'll like it. That's how we're gonna roll, baby. That's how we kick it. But no, that's about everything I had to say today. I hope you guys are doing well. I always appreciate hearing from you, and I always appreciate new people stopping by too. It's really crazy to me that less than a year ago I had like 60 subscribers and now I'm almost at 300. And that just says to me that I should just keep going. I shouldn't stop. Because there are people there who are listening who believe in the same things that I believe in. And that I'm speaking like this means something to you. You guys believe in me. And so I can believe in you. And we can believe in each other to believe in ourselves. And that's awesome. So, as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Unless you were like just had this on in the background as like a podcast thing or something. People keep telling me to do a podcast. I don't know how many of you sit there with like your sandwich like in front of the monitor. Like, oh, you just have me like full screen. If there's like a movie theater showing of this somewhere, let me know. I love to hear that. But either way, thanks guys. I appreciate you. Oh, also, I might make videos about video games because video games are cool. And also maybe anime. Or maybe like a cooking book that I read or something. I'm just going to make videos. It's fun making videos again, especially because people actually watch them. Thanks, guys.